All right, welcome. I wanted to go over and talk about the calculator stuff that I tried to rush through at the end of class today. Wanted to give you a little bit longer, a little bit closer explanation. So feel free to get your calculators out and follow along. So remember earlier that our goal was to take this matrix here, plug it into an augmented matrix, and then on the right side of that augmented matrix, essentially after the bar, we want to have our identity matrix. And then, using row operations, we manipulate that equation, or we manipulate that matrix to get to an identity matrix on the left side of our equation, or excuse me, of our matrix. And on the right, we would then have the identity matrix. So, sorry about that, I had to sneeze. So our goal is to it's a bit of an involved process, especially for a 3x3 matrix, and it just gets longer with a 4x4, 5x5, all that sort of stuff. So let's talk about how we can make our calculator do some work for us. Okay, so we're going to turn the calculator on. Make sure your calculator is on, otherwise it doesn't like to do things. So we're then going to go into the matrix menu. The matrix menu can be found just over top of the x inverse button, of the x to the -1 button. So second x inverse will take us to our matrix menu. We can have a whole bunch of matrices that we save. I think we can have 10 matrices saved at any one time. So we want to be able to save and record our matrices in our calculator. So as of right now, we don't have anything saved. If you had matrices saved, you'd see the order of all these matrices over here. Since we don't have anything, we're going to go over to this edit menu. So arrow over until you get to the edit menu, and we're going to change matrix A, because why not? Matrix A. So what we're going to do is we're going to plug in the matrix that we like to work with. We're going to plug in the matrix that we are trying to manipulate. Okay, just plug that straight in. We need to tell the calculator, though, how many rows we have by how many columns. All right, we have 3 rows. 3 rows. 1, 2, 3 rows. So 3 rows, and then we also have 6 columns in this particular matrix. So we have a 3x6 matrix. Once we tell it the order of it, once we tell it the order the matrix is, then we need to put each individual entry. So if you push a number, so like our top left, or our 1, 1 entry is the number 1. If we then push enter, it's going to move to the right 1 cell, or 1 entry. So keep that in mind when you're entering these. If you want to just not worry about the arrow keys, you can just go left to right across your matrix. You just go left to right across your matrix, then go down a row, left to right, down a row, left to right. It's a really, really nice, straightforward way to type these matrices in. So yeah, we're just going to go ahead and we're going to put all these entries in left to right and then top to bottom. So 1, 2, -1, 1, 0, 0. Back to the far left. 3, 5, 3, 0, 1, 0, 2, 4, 3, 0, 0, 1. Cool. So now we have our matrix and it is saved. As soon as you type anything in, it automatically saves all those matrices. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and click second and quit, so that we get back to our normal workspace. And then we're going to go back into that matrix menu and just make sure, if you go back into that matrix menu and just select the matrix that you just edited, and then hit enter, it'll show you your matrix. Okay, so this we want to look identical to this. So remember that to go from a matrix like this, an augmented matrix like this, and then have 1s on the main diagonal and 0s above and below, is called reduced row echelon form. I didn't make a huge point of it, but just keep that in mind. That's an important bit of information. Reduced row echelon form. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back over to our calculator and go second matrix. Now we're going to do some stuff with our matrix. So we're going to go over to math. There's a whole bunch of stuff that we haven't talked about yet, but if we arrow down, we have REF, which stands for row echelon form. So if we had a we had a bunch of ones on our main diagonal and then all zeros below, but not necessarily zeros above, that would be row echelon form. But not necessarily what we need. What we want is one more down, reduced row echelon form. So it's going to take whatever matrix you put after here and then put that matrix into reduced row echelon form. So we're going to go ahead and hit enter. And now we're going to want to use matrix A. So second matrix, grab matrix A, and we're going to plug it in there. Hit enter, and then your calculator does some magic. All right, these are not great. Remember, decimals, you know, they're whatever. We want fractions. Fractions, yes, good, good, super tasty fractions. So let's do that. Pretty straightforward. Just hit math and then arrow frac, and it'll turn everything into a fraction for you. And if you take a look, we now have our reduced row echelon form matrix. We have our ones on our main diagonal, zeros above, zeros below, and we have on the right side of our matrix is our identity matrix. So use this to help you find those identity matrices a little bit quicker. It'll help when you're trying to find some things. I do still want to see all of this stuff, so everything that should have happened during this arrow, I need to see, but this can help give you a bit of an answer key. Okay, so with great power comes great responsibility, so please use this responsibly, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully this was helpful. See you later, guys. Bye.